herself. So Gunjan is currently a markets reporter at the Wall Street Journal, covering stocks, bonds, and derivatives, daily markets coverage, and enterprise stories. She previously worked as a columnist at Barrons, which, like the Wall Street Journal, is also under the Dow Jones umbrella, and as a reporter at the Debtwire. She also has work experience in fashion, so I think that's going to be really interesting to hear about. And Gunjan earned her bachelor's degree in economics and media, culture, and communication from NYU, just like all most of us here, and went on to complete her master's in journalism at Columbia. Thank you so much for joining us today, Gunjan, and taking time out of your week to speak to students here who are interested in business, journalism, and in general, hearing amazing people like you speak.
The cool thing about journalism is that the days can be really varied, right? Like I have certain routines every single day, but to me, the most exciting thing is I'm typically talking to different people every single day. I am working on different stories all the time. I'm someone who likes to be doing different things. So I'm typically juggling a bunch of different stories and juggling a bunch of different projects, whether it's like a video project or a big like investigative piece or just a quick market story. So to me, that diversity is really, really exciting and it makes it fun for me. I would say my typical day, these days I'm working from home, but I'm usually waking up, having my coffee. I get a lot of like research from banks or traders with like commentary on what they're following in markets. And I try to read that. I try to see what the markets are doing. That usually takes a little bit of time, like reading other news outlets. If there's like manufacturing data out or retail sales data out or something like that, I'll be taking a look at that. Or like, today we were all tracking the Fed testimony. So it's like, that's typically how I start my day when I'm not working on something like, right, this needs to be done in an hour. And then throughout the day, I am like chipping away at stories. Like usually I have a list of like, okay, I want to call these people or set up these interviews to work on this story. Or I'll start writing a little bit of a story and I'll just like try to chip away at different stories. And like, it's a mix of like research and interviews, scheduling interviews, and like brainstorming.
So Malvika brought up earlier your GameStop story. Such a full circle moment to hear that you wrote that. I read about it. I invested in GameStop. I had to get in. I had to get in on the Reddit Wall Street bets trend. Luckily, I got out early enough, so it wasn't too
okay. Good.
But
Yeah.
So you interviewed this guy, Keith Gill, been on Reddit, and I guess my question was, how do you find a speaker like that? How do you go about the process of reaching out to somebody, and what do you think you guys did that he decided to work with you to tell the story with your team rather than anybody else?
Sure. So in terms of how do we find people, like we're always looking for interesting characters to bring the stories that we're telling to life, right? I think for a lot of people in the Roaring Kitty and GameStop situation, like this man did become kind of emblematic of this retail trading phenomenon and like the young investor that has been online over the past year, like talking to their friends on their live streams and communicating on social media and investing. So I think in that sense, that's why he was so compelling, because he just like, I think people related to him, people looked up to him. He became like this Reddit hero. So we wanted to talk to him. And I think one of the things that makes me really proud to work for the journal is just our standards to like fact checking and really, really fair journalism. And, I do tell our sources that like everything that every single word that goes in our articles is so painstakingly fact checked. And we have like a no surprises rule where anyone who's mentioned in an article will know what's being said about them, and they won't just wake up one day and find out that their name is out there online. So I really want to emphasize those standards to our sources.
This question I want to ask, I'm a second semester senior, to share with everybody, and I definitely feel you on, I can see how certain and passionate you are about your role today, and I have passions that I hold and, a job that I plan to enter after graduation, but that certainty about what you want to do, I think, can be hard to find, especially we're in a pandemic. There's so much uncertainty. And I'm curious, like, what were the things that you, looking back, would keep in mind as you're navigating periods of uncertainty? Like, what do you wish you could tell your senior yourself? Because I'm all ears to that information.
No, that's such a good question. I would say just like try to take some of the pressure off of yourself to like figure it out right away. And I think it's great if you do, but you probably won't, you know, and that's okay. And like, yeah, I just, that's really the biggest thing without getting too like corny. And I think one thing that I've really learned is like failure is actually like really good. Like, as I said, like I remember even once I quit my job in fashion, I was applying to jobs in journalism. I remember I really, really wanted to like be in the NBC page program. And I was like, this is my dream job. Like, I need to get this. This is it. And then like, I didn't get it. And I was really, really disappointed, but it actually took me on like a much, much better path. So I think the best way to figure out what you want to do is actually just keep doing stuff. And like, as I said, like treat each opportunity as a data point. What did I like about this? What did I not like about this? Because in every role, you will get excited about some stuff and you will really be repulsed by some stuff. So those are all like clues that will point you in the right direction. So like, don't be disheartened if it's the wrong internship, because it will probably teach you something about where you can go next and what you will want to do next.